Hey, Austin. I hope I grabbed the right glasses now.
Flying contacts for the first time.
Someday my eyes look good, someday I can't see.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
So bad. Tonight's City Council meeting, January 13, 2026, come to order. Prayer. Dear God, today as this session opens, we pray that your presence will be before us and everyone who serves in the decision-making process of our city. We pray for direction which will lead our city to be strong and unified. May we continue the legacy of our founders. May we be granted this day of wisdom to make decisions which will be for the good of our city. We also pray for your special blessing on all those who are working to transform our city and make it a better place to live and work. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, Mr. Clerk.
Mayor Gitchia.
Here.
Councilor Giron.
Here.
Councilor Yang.
Here.
Councilor McDonough.
Here.
Councilor Mercier.
Here.
Councilor Noon.
Here.
Councilor Robinson.
Here.
Councilor Rourke.
Here.
Councilor Scott.
Here.
Councilor Chow.
Here.
Councilor Dakota.
Here.
11 present.
Next, Councilor Mercier.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to offer a moment of silence and darkened chamber for John Pliny Rose, Jr. He graduated from Merrimack College in 1970 with a degree in sociology and went on to have a long career at Lucent Technologies as a shipping supervisor. John proudly served in the Army Reserve and was stationed at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. He was a pre-Tom Brady Patriot supporter and a lifelong Drew Bledsoe fan. John is survived by his loving wife of 51 years, Kathleen O'Connor Rose, his children, Kimberly and her husband Chris, Jill and her husband Derek, and Matthew Rose and his wife, DPD Director Yvonne Bias Rose. John was a proud papa to his 8 grandchildren. John will be missed by all who knew him. Our condolences to his family, relatives, and his many friends. I would also like to offer a moment of silence and darkened chamber to all those who passed away since our last City Council meeting. Amen. Thank you.
Mr. Clerk, if you could darken the chambers, please. Two, Mayor's Business. 2.1, Communication, Remote Zoom Participation. Motion to accept and put on file by Councilor Scott, seconded by Councilor Rourke. 2.2, Presentation,
Mr. Mayor?
UNESCO Learning City Designation.
Mr. Mayor, it's
Councilor Chow.
on the same topic as one of our motions, 4.3. Could we take that out of order and go along with the 2.2 presentation? The president can go first, of course.
Motion by Councilor Chow to take 4.3 out of order, seconded by Councilor Mercier.
And, Mr. Mayor, to comply with conflict of interest laws, I want to let everybody know I've been a volunteer with the City of Learning Project since 2020, and I filed a 23B3 disclosure with the clerk today. Thank you.
Thank you. 4.3, Councilor Chow, Councilor Rourke. Request City Manager create a Lowell Learning City Task Force to ensure that Lowell actively participates as a UNESCO Learning City. The task force shall include members of the City Council, Lowell City of Learning Organization, and representatives of the Lowell Public Schools, UMass Lowell, Middlesex Community College, cultural organizations, the city administration. The task force shall coordinate citywide learning initiatives, promote community engagement, and provide regular progress reports to the City Council. No second needed. Mr. Clerk, do we have any registered speakers
We don't.
or presenters? Mr. Wooden, are you presenting?
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for having us here. The UNESCO Global Network of Learning Cities numbers now some 350 towns and cities across the entire globe, from all the states of the European Union, North Africa, Africa itself, Turkey, Greece, Indonesia, Japan, China, Russia, and even the Ukraine. And for the last 70 years, those cities and towns have been part of this global network. One country was missing, the United States. And as of January 1st this year, I'm very pleased to let you know that the United States has now become the first designated learning city by UNESCO ever. So I'm very pleased to be here to say that. Getting there has been a long road. I was 29 when we started this, and but I want to take a moment, if I bear with me, you have no choice because I'm going to say it anyway, to thank people and institutions that were very deeply involved in this effort. So I want to go on record in thanking those people. I must start with thanks to you, the City Council, who have always been supportive of this work, and particularly to Mayors Rourke and Chow, who were very good friends to us as we worked to get this to happen. We especially, and I personally want to thank former Mayor Bill Samaras, my friend, who stood by us from the very beginning and saw the value of working towards this designation and the importance of education to Lowell and to the people of Lowell. The education institutions of Lowell have been enormously supportive too. I want to thank Judy Chen of UML, Phil Sissons and of MCC, who provided space and support throughout the process of doing this, to Liam Skinner and the Superintendent of Parks, the National Historical Park, which has been our partner and friend all the way through the development of the idea of a learning city. I'd also like to mention specifically Bridget Cooley at the Lowell Memorial Library, who's been great, just great, and how her unwavering enthusiasm was matched by that of John Carson from the Parker Lecture Series, who has supported us financially and with advocacy. We got started with a very generous gift from George Duncan and Enterprise Bank back when we started this process, and that enabled us to at least get this thing off the ground. I thank him and the bank for that help. We are an umbrella organization to many partners and organizations in Lowell, nearly 40 we've been involved in. I mentioned just a few of them: Coalition for a Better Acre, Project Learn, Mill City Grows, the Greater Lowell Community Foundation, and Jay Linehan, who has been our fiscal agent, and they've been incredibly supportive and kind to us in helping us get this off the ground. There were too many to mention here. I should also add that this would never have gotten off the ground initially if it hadn't been for the help and guidance of the folks in Cork, Ireland, particularly Dennis Barrett, who heads their City of Learning initiative, and the president of the University College Cork, John O'Halloran, who first gave me at least the idea that Lowell could become a learning city. I also would like to mention in passing that the Laurie Tarahan's office, who got us into after the third application to enable this to happen, and Taya Owen of the US Mission to UNESCO. All of that said, we could not have done this, and I'm leaving the best in a sense to last. There's a group of individuals who have been working now for some 6 or 7 years and have given tirelessly hundreds of hours of volunteer labor to making this happen. Madeline Snow, Peg Shanahan, who's going to join me in a second, Andy Hostler is sitting here, professor at UMass Lowell, and the tireless support of Carolyn McCarthy, Phyllis Kincannon, who sadly we lost to cancer about a year ago, Cecilia Idekalalu, James Ostis, and Paul Marion and Loom Press. All of those folks have been working their backs off to come and make this happen. So I thank all of them and all of you. It's a great achievement for us to become the first UNESCO designated learning city in the United States. Peg.
Good evening. Mayor Gittier, Manager Golden, councilors and all present in the room and online. It's really a privilege to speak to you tonight. First and foremost, I want to recognize Councilor Duran for her tireless work on the committee, and to say quite obviously that without the vision and the constancy and the commitment of John Wooding, we wouldn't be here tonight. Not only is he cool, he clearly lives our city, all things considered, so please join me in giving him a hand. I was born and raised in Lowell. My sister and I still own the house that we grew up in Centerville. I joined the City of Learning team in 2019, and I have to tell you that it's been a wonderful and life-changing experience for me. Not only have I had the privilege of working with John, Belinda, Andy, Madeline, Carolyn, and Felice, and all of the city partners, I've had the opportunity to travel and present my hometown in Cork, Ireland, and Italy in front of international audiences and done virtual presentations in Hungary and Australia. More importantly, I've learned more about my hometown than I ever thought there was to learn. I've learned that I'll never learn anything about Lowell. I've learned that to believe that our bedrock strengths are our diversity and our resilience. And I've learned that the principles, mission of the Cities of Learning, which says that basically the more you learn about your fellow Lowellian, about your neighbor, the more we build unity, community, and peace, not just locally, but potentially globally, and we build a hope for the future. So City of Learning is committed to building learning neighborhoods, and I'm asking all of you district counselors and people, citizens that are listening tonight, to think about what it would mean to build learning opportunities in neighborhoods, to just reach across the fence to your neighbor with an open heart and an open mind, and work together. Speaking in Cork, Ireland, and representing the city, I have to say, has been a daunting experience, but something that helped me stretch and grow. And I've learned also that there's room for everybody in a City of Learning. It's often said in Lowell that you can go from pre-K to earning a PhD without leaving the city. I believe that you can get a certain global education just by reaching across the wall of the fence and shaking your neighbor's hand, by going to a flag raising, by going to ethnic festivals. This is our opportunity, this is our privilege, and I hope to see you all in the neighborhoods and around the city. There's a place for everyone and all in a City of Learning. Thank you.
I forgot somebody. I realized that one of the group that's been working so hard, of course, was Belinda Duran here. A round of applause for her too, as new council. Okay, we're done.
Councilor Chow.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I think between Dr. Wooding and Peg, you took my speech away and then some. There's no room left for me to thank. Even I couldn't even thank my colleague, Belinda Duran, and of course I want to thank you, Dr. Wooding, but I do want to give a special acknowledgement to former Mayor Rourke, who, the mayor at the time, it was important to have a mayor's role in this process of the learning center, to have the mayor endorse it, supports it. So it came at the time with Mayor Rourke's work this time, so thank you, Mayor, for that as well. Everything has been said already, but I just want to maybe just highlight a few basic description of what this really means. What is UNESCO Learning Center City? A UNESCO Learning City is part of the UNESCO Global Network of Learning Cities, abbreviation GNLC, a global initiative to promote lifelong learning for all across education, work, community, life, and public spaces. The network helps cities mobilize resources across sectors for inclusive learning from basic to higher education, revitalize learning in families and communities, support workplace learning, modern learning technologies and quality outcomes, foster lifelong learning as a cultural norm, contribute to the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, which is tied to the Front Run City. So you can see how Lowell is moving forward with partnerships, such on a global scale, the Front Run City and the UNESCO. The one thing that tying all this thing together through this designation, Lowell joins a global network of cities that view learning as a foundation for economic opportunity, inclusion, and community resilience. So all of us, as Dr. Wooding and Peg said, a lot of individuals, a lot of organizations, a lot of people involved to make this happen. So this is really a win for the city as a whole. Thank you for your work, and I really appreciate Mayor Rourke joining in this motion with me. It's very, very fitting.
Thank you, Councilor Chow. Councilor Rourke.
Thank you, Mega Chair. Just quickly, the very first meeting I had when I took the office of mayor was with Peg Shanahan. She was there the very next day after inauguration, and we talked extensively about the Learning City program and what we had to go through to get where we are. And she had mentioned all the names that we have heard so far this evening. And the last 4 years I think have been Lowell's best, and I see the next 4 to 10 years being even better. The positive trait that Lowell is looked upon right now when you travel and you tell people from where you're from, all the good things that we have going on in the city. Really pushes forward what we hope to do as a community. I think it's a benefit as well of going to the the district representation when you get more ideas and more diversity within the city, within the council, and this is just another example of that. And to Professor Wooding and to Ms. Samaras and to Ms. Shanahan, that we're always constantly keeping in touch and keeping us updated on how things were going. Very, very appreciative. And again, once it's been said many times before, but their hard work has got us here today. So thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councilor Rourke. Councilor Noon.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is a huge thing for everyone in the city, and I want to thank Dr. Wooding, former Mayor Samaras, our partner institutions and partner organizations, and of course, after Mayor Samaras, and then Mayor Chow, Mayor Rourke, and continue on. It's fitting that this is, we are the only city in America. There's 91 countries, but we are the only city in America. If you look at for decades, Lowell has been investing in education, workforce, and cultural enrichment. There's one motion at the end is on Lowell Folk Festival Foundation, and that too has to do with learning civic learning, cultures, and all that. So that learning never stops if you're willing and open to do so. So I think it's fitting for Councilor Chow and Councilor Rourke, this motion to have a task force so that we have a continuum of work that we have to continue to do with our partner institution and partner organization going forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Noon. Councilor Yang.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to take a moment and thank Councilor Chow and all the teams and Mayor Rourke as well. For a lot of folk in the community, they do understand what UN is and UNESCO is, and I want them to learn some more about the work about the UN and the UNESCO. For those out there who don't know, it's a United Nations education, science, and cultural organization that work around the world to preserve cultures and education and improve all around the especially all around the world and those countries that are underdeveloped. And especially, I'm very proud of all the people that Mr. Wooden just mentioned, because most of these people and organization, I work with them for quite a bit as well. I'm very proud of the work, and I read a lot of things that in front of me. I just want to make a shout out there, especially we are a city full of immigrants and city that people come from all over the world, and this is a really good reach and a good things to have in our city. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Yang. Councilor McDonough.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm going to be very quick. Thank you to Councilors Chow and Rourke for the motion, and also just as the 30-year-old city councilor, I remember actually 10 years ago, I never had the privilege of taking a class with Professor Wooding, but when the delegation from Cork came, they had given a talk or whatever at some campus event, and then Professor Wooding gave several more until my graduation. And the fact that his excitement and his passion for this project has held on for 10 years, and I know all sorts of other people have also been involved, and thank you to them. But the amount of change that can happen personally, professionally, and institutionally in 10 years is insane. I was an undergraduate, and now I sit here and have an 18-month-old. So I can't imagine working on one project for that long. And so for that, I think Professor Wooding really should be commended. So thank you.
Thank you, Councilor McDonough. Roll call on motion 4.3, please, Mr. Clerk.
Mayor Getchia.
Yes.
Councilor Duran.
I'll abstain.
Councilor Liang.
Yes.
Councilor McDonough.
Yes.
Councilor Mercier.
Yes.
Councilor Noon.
Yes.
Councilor Robinson.
Yes.
Councilor Rourke.
Yes.
Councilor Scott.
Yes.
Councilor Chow.
Yes.
Councilor Dakota.
Yes.
10 yeas.
A motion to place 2.2, the presentation of UNESCO, from Councilor Rourke and seconded by Councilor Chow to place on file. 3, City Clerk, 3.1, minutes of the City Council inauguration ceremony 2026-2027, January 5th, City Council regular meeting, January 6th for acceptance, motion by Councilor Rourke, seconded by Councilor Robinson. 4, City Council motions. 4.1, Councilor Scott, request City Council approve a temporary moratorium on the permitting and approval of new and expanded data center facilities in the city of Lowell until zoning and planning regulations are updated to protect residents, including required buffering zones, noise standards, screening, and protection against water and electric rate impacts. Seconded by Councilor Noon.
There are registered speakers, Mr. Mayor. Mary Owambe.
Good evening, Mary Wamboy, 668 Princeton Boulevard in Lowell. So I'm here to strongly support Councillor Scott's motion for a temporary moratorium on the permitting and approval of new or expanded data center facilities. So while the Markley Group has recently posed its petition for a fuel license amendment, we need to recognize that the developer's tactical retreat is not permanent city protection. So the request to store 168,000 gallons of diesel is a massive expansion of hazardous materials in a residential area. So I'm asking the council to clarify tonight that the phrase expanded facilities explicitly includes fuel storage and hazardous material licenses. If this moratorium stops at building but allows a massive diesel expansion to return through a loophole later, then it will fail to provide the community the safety we are asking for today. Furthermore, we cannot manage what we do not measure. We need this moratorium to mandate public reporting of energy and water usage. Markley is a 50 megawatt facility. To put that in perspective, that's enough electricity for up to 30,000 homes. Lower residents currently have no way of knowing the actual scale of consumption at this site or its impact on our local grid. In other regions with unmanaged data center demand, residential electricity bills have gone up by hundreds of dollars per year. So we deserve to know the true impact on our resources so that we are not forced to subsidize large-scale industrial operations through our own utility bills. So Lowell deserves a future that's built on transparency and responsible planning. I urge you to support this motion and to ensure it captures all the pending fuel amendments to protect the safety and financial security of our neighborhoods. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Clerk.
Jake Fortes. I did send him a Zoom link, but he's not on Zoom either. Jonathan Grossman.
Good evening, Mayor Gittier and City Council. I'm Jonathan Grossman. I live at 83 Varnum Ave. I volunteer with our local climate justice group, 350 Mass, and I'm speaking in support of the motion. Corporations should be good corporate citizens, and good corporate citizens, especially those that receive tax breaks, should work to address any negative impact of their work on the local community. This needs to be done with the community, for example, through a community benefits agreement. And our government should make sure that that happens. When it comes to data centers, we've seen the problems that can develop. In addition to those explicitly mentioned in the motion, there's also the issue of fuel, as Mary mentioned. As we know, diesel pollutes the air, it increases asthma rates, and leads to other negative health outcomes, as well as setting us back in achieving our climate goals. Getting a highly profitable industry to pay attention to the community where it's located is not easy. But I believe Lowell is up to the task and that this is a good first step. And I would add that I'm sure we would support the articulation that Mary had, the clarifications about what should be considered part of the motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Grossman. Councilor Scott.
Actually, can I ask to suspend the rules to allow a speaker? Eileen.
Suspension of rules by Councilor Scott, seconded by Councilor Robinson.
Thank you.
If you could please state your name and address for the record.
Eileen Castle, 64 Oda Street, Lowell, Mass. I live directly next to Markley. For those of you who don't know me, I've been here before. And if you need to know, the water towers that they have there are about 15 feet from my home. I can't go out without having a camera in my face. They put up new cameras. They can see in my windows with the cameras. I can't have company. Everything that has been done with this. So I think we need to protect the citizens of Lowell. I think it's time for the council to look at everything that they are doing and get busy and make something work for the citizens of Lowell. This is not the way we should be. I shouldn't be here every day, every time that this comes up. I should be able to know that everybody here is fighting for us to make sure that we're protected. I need protection. I didn't get it, and now I need it, and I think South Lowell is going to need it. And I think this is a wonderful thing that Kim Scott is doing, and I support her in 100%, and I think all of you should. Thank you for this evening.
Thank you.
Thank
Councilor
you.
Scott? Are we still under suspension?
Okay. Yeah. No one else speaking? Okay.
Right, Councilor Scott.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So I am asking that we take a pause right now and adopt this moratorium. I'm asking to refer this to our law department to draft it, to give DPD time to do the zoning review around data centers. Right now, data centers are not defined in our zoning. They have a major demand on our electric supply, water supply. I want to make sure that does not get passed on to ratepayers. Also, we don't have clear standards really around buffers around the equipment, how close they can be to a home, landscaping requirements. I think there could have been a lot more done to protect these neighbors. As Ms. Castle stated, if you go down Bourne Street, I would challenge anyone to go down there and see whether or not you would want that to be in your backyard, so close to your fence. You can feel the mist coming down while you're in your driveway. It just was not a fair situation. Again, I think this is a safeguard that we owe it to the residents of any neighborhood where this could go for us to do this work before we allow any more permitting. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Scott. There's a motion on the floor to refer this to the law department, seconded by Councilor Mercier. Roll call, Mr. Clerk.
Mr. Mayor.
Councilor Noon, I'm sorry. Councilor Noon.
Thank you,
motion.
Mr. Mayor. Thank you. If I may also add to, I want to thank Councilor Scott first for filing this motion. You know, I recognize that progress is good. I also recognize that we want economic growth. But at the same time, I think we need to fully understand the total impact and risk to the resident in the city of Lowell. Right? You look at air pollution surrounding the area, you look at potential risks involving storage as much as diesel fuels on one side, you look at noise issue, you look at understanding the water usage data, understand the energy usage data, And the neighborhood concern, and last time this company come before us, we raised those issues. So I think the temporary moratorium is a good start, so that allowing the company to build communication, to build communication to be more transparent to the resident of the South Lowell and the Sacred Heart and those areas that totally impact more than anybody else in the city of Lowell. So, maybe an independent analysis of what, all this has to do with noise, pollution, air pollution, and whatnot, the health impact, that will be great, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Noon. Councilor McDonough.
I would also like to thank Councillor Scott for an excellent motion. I think this is a step in the right direction in acknowledging that 10 years ago when Mark Lee first came to Lowell, AI wasn't a thing, and no one fully, seemingly even watching old planning board meetings, no one really knew what a data center was when these agreements were being written. And we are seeing around the Commonwealth and around the country that municipalities are playing a game of regulatory catch-up with data centers, and I think this pause for the law department to review and then for DPD to review and see what rules we can put in place to protect the neighborhood is a really good step in the right direction.
Thank you, Councilor McDonough. Councilor Liang.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you to Mary, John, Eileen. It's hard to hear that the citizen needs protection, and they're here. And Eileen, you shouldn't be here, again. And we need to actually take care of this. When you hear about hazardous material, when you hear about pollution, and the cost of energy that's going up. In August, I actually went to the park near the Markley. I visited there and I talked to the neighbors over there. And it's hard that this thing is actually keep dragging on, and I don't know how to solve this. And I did walk and thank Councilor Scott about her motion as well, because this is a good thing to do. And again, thank you, and thank you for coming today. I just want to say that I hear you. If there's anything that I can do, I'll help out. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Yang. Councilor Duran.
I, too, want to thank Councilor Scott for putting this motion forward. Her intent in protecting residents is clear, and it reflects where I know her heart always is. And she clearly has done her research on this issue. I especially appreciate the amendment or the revision to refer this to the law department and the zoning department. I think we need to define not only what a data center is or isn't, but also, if we undertake a moratorium that's temporary, what will cause it to be lifted? So when do we know that we have sufficiently protected residents versus other needs of the city? So I think there are some details we need to work through, but I think the path is clear and right. Thank you.
Motion to send 4.1 to the Law Department. Roll call, Mr. Clerk.
Mayor Getchia.
Yes.
Councilor Giron.
Yes.
Councilor Liang.
Yes.
Councilor McDonough.
Yes.
Councilor Mercia.
Yes.
Councilor Noon.
Yes.
Councilor Robinson.
Yes.
Councilor Rourke.
Yes.
Councilor Scott.
Yes.
Councilor Chow.
Yes.
Councilor Dakota.
Yes.
11 yeas.
Motion by Councilor Scott, seconded by Councilor McDonough to suspend the rules to take 5.2 out of order. 5.2, communication appointment of...
I'm going to do it again, Mr. Mayor. I didn't hear back from ethics, and it says the word schools, so I'm going to sit this one out, hear back, and vote on it next time.
Okay.
I itched my nose again.
Wrong one.
Thank you, Councilor McDonough. 5.2, communication, appointment of Kristen Ross-Sikowicz to the Conservation Commission. Motion to accept and place on file by Councilor Rourke. Oh, if Ms. Kristen Ross-Sikowicz would like to say something beforehand, she certainly could. Okay. Motion to accept and place on file by Councilor Duran, seconded by Councilor McDonough. Thank you. Going back to the...
Can I just make a comment?
Council
I would just like to commend the manager for this great choice. I had the honor and privilege of serving with Kristen on the school committee for 4 years. You don't have to say anything, but it's just a great, great choice, and she'll do an incredible job for the city. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, while under suspension, can we please take 4.7 out of order?
I just want to thank Kristen Ross-Sikowicz for volunteering her time also. She was a good school committee member. Roll call on Kristen Ross-Sikowicz appointment, 5.2, Mr. Clerk. No roll call is needed. 4.7, Councilor Robinson requests city manager work with the Lowell Folk Festival Foundation to explore how our council and administration may be able to assist with fundraising efforts. Seconded by Councilor Dakota. Councilor Robinson.
May I make a motion to suspend the rules and allow a speaker to engage the council, please?
We're under suspension of the rules, so yes, the speaker can speak.
Hello, everyone.
If you could please just state your name and address for the record, please.
I'm Lee Velissis, Executive Director of the Lowell Folk Festival. I live at 115 Main Street in Andover. Thank you very much to Councilor Robinson, to Manager Golden, Mayor Gitchner, to all of the council here. I was asked by our chairman, Artie Sutcliffe, to come and speak to you tonight to address sort of what the Folk Festival looks like for 2026. As we approach the 39th annual Folk Festival, we are looking at a festival that is hurting in its costs. We had a wonderful turnout from the city of Lowell last year when we lost our NEA funding in the spring. And certainly it was by far one of our best years for single donations that we have ever seen, plus with the loving support of the Rockland Trust Bank and many of the organizations here in the city. We have done some beautiful, expansive work on revitalizing parts of the Folk Festival, including our children's area, which last year moved to Merrimack Street and was a great success. That was done in partnership with the Discovery Museum out in Acton. But as prices continue to rise, labor costs, inflation, we are looking at a folk festival that is going to cost well over $1 million this year, which is by far the most expensive year that we've seen since it was founded in '97. So we look to you guys for additional support as the largest event that the city puts on, and the joy that it brings to the community, to the people of Lowell, and the absolute pride of Lowell that the Folk Festival represents. The foundation represents both the Folk Festival and the Summer Music Series. We continue to provide free and low-cost events for the people of Lowell and its surrounding communities, and we hope to do that for many years into the future. Next year being our 40th anniversary, we are excited to celebrate this milestone with the community and celebrate the bicentennial this year, the America 250. We're looking at bringing back many artists who had performed at the Folk Festival in the past that were very well received and very excited to come back. We see 18 to 23 artists and performing groups over the course of 3 days. It is 20 hours of music across 4 stages. So that is by far one of the largest events that the city does. And we put it on for free for the community. And that is part of our mission, right? Is to be accessible to everyone and not something that is closed in its ability to enjoy. So I thank Councilor Robinson for bringing this to all of you, and I thank you for, listening to us.
Before you go, could you just spell your last name for the record, please?
Oh, V is in Victor, Iliesis.
Thank you. Councilor Robinson.
Thank you. Thank you to the speaker, and thank you to Artie and the whole team. I mean, what they pull off year after year, as the speaker mentioned, we're all in agreement. It's the pride of Lowell. It's something long-standing that, you know, many things, UNESCO, all of these great programs that are starting to take shape has really catapulted Lowell, but for decades now, the Lowell Folk Festival has been the catalyst behind a lot of this. It's been the catalyst that even in our toughest times as a city, it's still shown that light on what we had to offer. And so I think a real opportunity exists. I think if maybe we look to playing a supporting role as a partner with the Lowell Folk Fest Foundation, and can we come up with an annual event, early spring maybe, fundraising event, working with the public that we're just supportive of. In that way, it's established. And is there a path to provide an event that the city can look forward to early spring, to provide an injection of cash to the Folk Fest Foundation ahead of schedule, so it's not a fourth quarter shuffle, and we're looking to figure out how to get over to the finish line. I think with the bicentennial, especially coming up this year, anything we can do as a unit, because we're all in agreement about what this means to the city, that we can assist in any mechanism or way or manner that we're legally allowed and we have the bandwidth to do, I think it's a no-brainer. So anything that we can come up with, and I look forward to the motion response with some creative ideas. But I thank you all, and again, thank you to the Folk Fest Foundation, the National Parks, and everybody else that works to pull this off repeatedly. Thank you.
Councilor Dakota.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through you to the city manager, I'm wondering if we could reach out to Mr. Sutcliffe and have a meeting, either with your administration, or we could put together maybe some ad hoc subcommittee, but we don't want to have any missteps with this. We really don't. Thank you.
Mr. Manager.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, through to the council. Councils, we talk on a pretty regular basis, myself and Mr. Sutcliffe. We do, there are definitely things we need to become more creative on. There's in-kind contribution that the city does do in some aspect to the tune of about $100,000, parking revenue splits that we do every weekend. So there is some financing that we assist with, but I think trying to become more creative while also being a little cautious. The city itself, because of an anti-aid amendment, we can't exactly have a fundraiser, but we can probably try to assist and help. So give us a little time to kind of think of how to do this, and we can move forward. But you know, with the parking revenue split that we do participate with for that weekend, I don't know if you know the number. I forget. It was pretty impressive.
$34,000 last year,
right,
plus the 15 from your office.
Right. So we will continue to do it. It's a, I'd like to think we're probably 15%-ish when we start to think about the in-kind contributions that we do, but it's a far cry from the $1 million that it costs to put this together. So we'll look at this from a perspective of being creative. It is our 200th anniversary, as everybody here knows. We have a lot of things going on with the bicentennial. It's a pretty exciting time, but we're not going to turn our back on one of our oldest, dearest friends, the Lowell Folk Festival, to make sure that it's a success this year and the next year. And we'll just have to figure it out.
Councilor Noon.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Believe it or not, this folk festival has been around for, what, 39 years, older than the youngest councilor here, Sean McDonald. You know, so seriously, the Lowell Folk Festival Foundation really is a cornerstone for the city cultural life, you know, and it's the foundation purpose aligned with the UNESCO Learning City, which is to encourage civic, cultural, and educational activity. So, I mean, we have to do everything we can to continue, you know, this program, this free, the second largest in the U.S. free folk festival. So it go help also the business in the downtown and surrounding downtown, with these festivals going on. So as a city, we have to do everything we can to help. And I think, too, as Councillor Robinson is right, maybe hosting an event, raising money ahead of time so that maybe in lieu of what the city can do, in lieu of money, some of the council can put a head together and see what we can do to raise that money to help with the costs associated with having this folk festival this year and the coming year to come. Thank you.
Okay. Seeing no one else, we'll go back to 4.2, where Councilor McDonough is recusing himself. 4.2, Councilor Scott requests City Manager have the appropriate department investigate the long-term feasibility of relocating polling places currently located in public schools to alternative accessible community locations and to report back to the council with findings and recommendations. Seconded by Councilor Mercia. Councilor Scott.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm sure many of my fellow councilors have heard from residents. I've heard from teachers, from parents. Teachers are worried about time on learning being interrupted with breaks, especially exacerbated by this special election with the February into March election date. Parents concerned about child care that they didn't plan on, that was not scheduled. And it kind of brought to light that, when we don't know these elections are going to happen, it really can put a wrinkle, in people's plans. So they asked whether or not we can look at moving the polling places. And I know that may be a very difficult feat. There's accessibility issues. There's, we want continuity in the polling places. We might not want rental places because it might not be the same all the time. But I did tell them that we would take a look, and I would ask that that's exactly what we do. May not be feasible. I don't know. I assume the choice to hold classes during these special elections is a choice that's been made by the school committee versus the city's choice. So, that's something else that could be looked at, whether or not, that's still the desire. But I did ask that we move forward, refer this, I guess perhaps to the Elections Commission would be the one to look whether or not this is feasible. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Scott. Councilor Mercia?
No.
On the next subject?
I'd like to suspend the rules.
Councilor Chow first. Councilor Chow.
I'm going to just second Councillor Kim Scott's motion to refer to the elections subcommittee in that one, on your motion.
I think they would do that anyway, but we can do that as a motion. Motion by Councilor Scott, seconded by Councilor Chow.
Elections Commission.
To send motion 4.2 to the
Election Subcommittee.
Election Subcommittee. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? So ordered. Councilor Mercia.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Before we go any further, could I suspend the rules to allow, there's two people that are here that would like to speak. First is 9.3, Joanna, to address the council from Smith Avenue. Could we
Motion by Councilor Mercia and seconded by Councilor Noon to suspend the rules for 9.3.
Yeah.
9.3. All those in favor? 9.3, miscellaneous. Joanna Monsalve requests permission to address the city council regarding conditions of Smith Ave.
Good evening,
Ms.
everybody.
Monsalve.
Good evening, Mayor.
Just your name and address for the record, please. Just state your name and record.
Joanna Monsalve, 22 Smith Ave. Sorry.
That's okay.
I come in front of all my neighbors. I grew up on the street 30 years ago. I'm 34. I grew up in Lowell. My parents bought the house in 1999. Since that time on, I've been working in and out. When Mayor Sakari was around, he tried to help me with my street. It went on the newspaper, the first flyer, Smith Ave, and now, 4 years later, the street has not been done. There's potholes, cars are wrecking. In the wintertime is a mess. I have to call DPW every 6 months to get the street potholes covered. There's kids on the street that can't even use a bike or walk. There's no sidewalks on my street. There's nothing.
Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Manager. I'm sorry.
Is that,
Councilor Mercia?
through you, Mr. Mayor, to the Joanna, is that a dead-end street or
That's a one-way street.
a one-way
A
street?
one-way street with no sidewalks, no parking. People
But
are
it's,
parking on
but
the
it's
sidewalk.
not a dead-end street?
No, it is not a dead-end street.
I wonder if it's an accepted street, and that's why...
Mr. Manager?
That's probably the problem.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, through you to the council and to the residents. This was put on pause at the time because of our CSO projects. Now, we're just finding out now that Smith Ave off of Middlesex Street, there's going to be a little bit of I think it's a catch basin that we're going to be dealing with, but at the time when this was put on pause, the concern was what we're doing with the CSOs. So I can have Mr. Machado reach out to you and we'll figure this out. But a lot of the smaller side streets, which run in between Middlesex Street and Branch, I hope I'm doing that right. Where am I? Yeah. Thank you, Councilor. We've been looking at that to see if there's something we can do in the future. So we're hearing you, but the last 2 years, the pause was there, truthfully, because of our CSO, our combined sewer overflow problem, and we weren't sure which streets at the time. We have now figured out that Smith Ave, thank you very much,
Thank you.
because of your
I'm
thought.
like the oldest one in my neighborhood, I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie. I fight for something that I really need.
Sure,
There's
but I
little
just wanted
kids
to let
around
you know
there,
the
too.
reasoning over the last 2 years, because I'm sure you watched about the consent decree.
Oh, yeah.
That was put forth by the CSO. So a lot of streets, and Councilor Robinson over in Centerville is dealing with the same situation, but I've been out on Smith Ave, I've seen it. There's a sidewalk that should, we need to have a discussion about should there be a sidewalk, should there just be a street? But Mr. Machado is going to take your information, we'll get back to you
you
and
so
let you know what's going to happen with it, okay?
Thank you, guys. Sorry, I'm nervous.
You're doing a great job. You're absolutely fine. But I appreciate that. I just wanted to let you know what had been happening over the past, honestly, 16 to 18 months. We've been working through the CSO problem in the Highlands now.
Thank you, guys.
Just so you know what a CSO is, it's a combined sewer overflow. Councilor
Right.
Chow.
The EPA is
Yeah.
pushing this on us, which is causing an increase in our water and storage, but we'll save that for another day.
I got it. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Councilor Chow.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I want to thank the speaker, Ms. Resolve. She really is an unsung hero, neighborhood advocate. Smith Ave, I know that street very well. It's a beautiful neighborhood. It's a small neighborhood, but it's one of those classic neighborhood in Lowell that we're proud to have. And you're right. You're the voice for that block for the family. They're very family oriented. A lot of kids that bikes, even though there's no sidewalk, they bike, they walk in the middle of the street. But there's a lot of potholes, people parking both sides of the street. So yeah, I want to thank you for coming to speak again, and the manager and administration, the assistant city manager will speak with you as soon as we saw that. They got on it right away, try to get an update for you. So, but I thank you for coming to speak tonight. Very, very important. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Chow. Councilor Robinson.
Thank you. Through you to the city manager. Have we looked at, because I know we're going to be facing similar challenges in Centerville, some of these roads, it could be a matter of drainage issues, long-standing drainage issues, or whatever it may be, but have we looked at, even for temporary fixes, say, to get us through the winter, and spring comes, whatever's decided, as funding and all that, even utilizing coal patch or any of that, just to fill in the potholes to preserve what rims and tires we can to get us over that time period where it's winter, you don't really want to be throwing hot top continuously in the holes because it's just going to pop out. But any other means to at least make it drivable until spring breaks, we get to thaw, and then we can address a more long-term permanent solution.
Mr. Manager.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, through to the council. We have been doing that, and West L Street is right up your alley. You know exactly where I'm talking about on Jewett. And we're also looking at some of the smaller streets, like the West L's, like the Smith Ave. Once we know that they're not within the CSO area, we're looking at possibly asking the council to move forward on, $1 million or a couple of $1 million, right? But we're also, as everybody here knows, and for the edification of the folks listening, where are we with water? Where are we with sewer? Where are we with National Grid? So there's a lot to and I don't think we can ever say this enough. The roadways, we want to make sure we tackle them in the right RSR rating, which is the road rating. However, we still have to we don't want to spend good money after bad money if we still have to have, say if there's a cast iron main or a coated steel main from National Grid. To your point, Councilor, I'll make sure that our pothole crews are over on Smith Ave this week. Mr. Machado, he left, I guess. He's out talking to the folks, but I'll make sure they're over to Smith Ave just to ensure that it's passable. But it is. I've been on the street. I went over to see it. It's in rough shape. It is not in.
Greatly appreciated. And again, I get it. I understand there's a lot that goes into it. It's a lot more than just a pothole in many instances. I mean, First Street Boulevard's a perfect example. They were over there repeatedly for years. And then until we were able to rip it up, correct the drainage issue, put in more permanent solution, I mean, now it's resolved. So greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Mr. Manager?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, through the council. That's exactly what we're thinking of doing in trying to see if a binder coat would be worthy. But once again, it's important to note for the constituents at home and the citizens at home that if National Grid, if water, if we're doing something on that street in the foreseeable future, we're trying to be careful. But Smith Ave, we will be looking at that tomorrow, and I'm sure Mr. Machado will have the pothole crew over there taking a look at it.
Thank you, Councilor Robinson. Councilor Yang.
Thank you. I just want to also thank you, Joanna, for coming and speaking, and also to your the neighbors that put on the petition and helped write the, I guess, the letters to the city managers and the team. I do appreciate that. I do encourage our residents to speak up some more and give us detail. I know that city manager has a lot of work to do, but at the same time, these small streets needs some voices that you just let us know what's going on, and we'll get there. I recall about maybe 7 years ago, there's a street near Plain Street and Chelmsford. There's a street called Quimby. There's a petitioner that put in a request about 8 years ago. Unfortunately, he didn't live to see it fixed. So these are some of the really small streets, but at the same time, we need neighbors, we need residents to voice their concern. And I thank you. I saw the letters and the photos, and these are the kind of things that needed from our community and their participation. And I just wanted to say thank you to you and all the people out there. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Councilor Yang. Councilor Scott.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through you to the manager. I was just curious, the road surface rating map that's online on the city website, when was that produced and how was that updated?
Mr. Manager.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, through the council. Council, I'd have to get you the exact date on that. We're actually working with an organization right now that hopefully the RSR ratings would be updated on a monthly basis. That's a long story that we're looking at to attach some AI, if you would, to vehicles throughout the city. I can get you the date. I can call up to engineering to find out when it was done last, but it's typically done once every 3 years. So the cost is in my head is about $60,000 or so, and I'm unsure, but I'll find out before the end of the meeting if it was just updated or we're waiting to see it updated by the end of this year.
Okay, very good. And I think it would be helpful too if there was some way to know, I guess for residents to know why some streets perhaps are passed over, that are coded red, but yet, other streets are continuously being fixed ahead of them. So I don't know if there's some way just to have more information available with this.
Mr. Manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, through to the council. Council, typically it's predicated on National Grid, when we're going to get National Grid into the area. And what we've started to do, and it really just started 3 years ago, is to really start a discussion with National Grid, with water, with wastewater. Not talking about the CSO at all. CSO is just another animal, as we all know, in itself. But the making sure that National Grid is on the same page that we're on, because what we don't want to do is when we redo a roadway, we put a 5-year moratorium on it. So there are a whole host of reasons, but I think that from the engineer's office, we've been following along as close as we can to the RSR rating. We've been trying to tackle everything south of 50. For anyone, once again, the RSR rating on a road, a brand new road would be 100. Smith Ave would be 30, right? So just to kind of give you the idea of where we would be. So even though a road like Smith Ave may be, and I'm making that up, I don't have the RSR ratings in front of me, if there are 30, if National Grid is going to go in there next year or this coming year to redo their main, we would wait on that. We would put a pause on that because they're going to rip up the road in a pretty aggressive manner. So that is part of the reason at times of what's going on. Hopefully that makes sense.
No, it does. I just, like I said, I have some residents that have reached out. I pointed out this map to them. Their roads are, 42, 45, and they're kind of saying, why isn't this happening? So,
right.
So
and that would be that'd be one of the things, and then feel free to call us. Our engineers know they know exactly where the cast iron and the steel. Now, if this is out 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, maybe we'd do a mill and overlay because it's not acceptable. It just depends on where we are on the process. And this council will be asked to do the same thing that the last two councils have done. It's important to know for the residents that we were spending approximately $2.53 million a year. We're looking upwards of $8 million to $10 million per year that we've been spending on our roads. So we're doing a lot of catch-up on roadway projects, on all of our horizontal construction. And I think it's paying off. And quite frankly, it's this council, this new council as well, but it's been this council that has aggressively gone after the horizontal construction to the tune of, by the end of 25, we don't have the final numbers yet, but I bet you we're close to $24 million. That's a lot of money in the last 3 years of what we've been putting into our horizontal construction compared to what we did previously, which was in the range of $2 to $3 million. So we're making some great strides, and I do believe a councilor did once tell me you're going to start seeing things in 3 years. And I think that in year 5, you're really going to, if we keep the pedal down on this, which is difficult to do from a financial standpoint, but I think these small side streets, and I call it the Westell project, Councilor, to the engineers, because it's these small side streets that I think we really have to get into from a socioeconomic piece. They hear me talk about this. This is a good thing that we're doing. We will get that Smith Ave answer as well as the Westells of the world. And those are the smaller streets in the city. The council, quite frankly, off of Agawam Street, I can't think of the name, we're working on one of those, and to bring all of our streets into compliance with, it was Doherty Court, correct? To bring all of our streets in compliance, some that have not been on the Chapter 90 list. So we're working on that as well to increase our Chapter 90 monies. Anything I missed? No?
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Scott. Motion to refer to Transportation and Engineer and recommendation from Councilor Mercier, seconded by Councilor Chow. Go back to the regular agenda. 4.4, Council McDonough, request city manager work with the appropriate department to provide a detailed report on the winter operation procedure in high pedestrian traffic locations throughout the city, seconded by Councilor Robinson. Council McDonough.
Thank you. This motion comes out of influx of resident phone calls and text messages sent before swearing in. There's some concern and also some confusion in downtown, also in parts of the acre that they're not mine, but for whatever reason they called me too, where we have a pretty high density of housing. We also have senior housing. We have people with mobility issues. We have a mix of city-owned property, large institutional owners of property, and smaller building owners, and so it can be confusing for residents to know who's responsible for what on the sidewalk and who it is they need to call to complain when they're slipping and sliding on their way to the parking garage to go to work or a doctor's appointment or into the health center. So just looking for some clarity for them. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor McDonough. Councilor Robinson.
Thank you. I think it's a good motion. I think this is something that, first and foremost, as my colleague was alluding to get clarification on what are the existing ordinances on the books, who's responsible for what. I know it's been kind of a mix over the years, where downtown business owners are responsible for walkways, but in a lot of instances, we have crews deployed down there, and they're great about it. They do exactly as much as they can down there. But then in some of the other areas, I know I've spoken to the assistant city manager, Mr. Machado, multiple times because, and I do realize our employees are spread thin. They're spread throughout the city, combating winter operations, but I also have received calls from somebody that is ADA, needs ADA accountability on the city's behalf on public walks that we are in fact responsible for over on the Jackson Street area. During the ice storm, I got a call where they have a service dog and they're in a wheelchair and they were unable to even get the dog outside because our portion of that walkway was a sheet of ice. They did show up again, and so I know years past, a lot of this was Parks Department was responsible for, in winter operations at least, walkways and bridges. Street Department was handling roadways and parking lots or whatever. I'm not sure if we still have that. They used to be assigned routes to ensure that all walkways and bridges were covered by the one division. The others just focused on what they did. Again, I know it's a matter of coordination and prioritizing, and as this motion is kind of out there, high pedestrian areas. One of the areas that we struggle with, and I have to say, from when I first got on the council to modern day, 180 degrees improvement, Bridge Street. A lot of pedestrians walk up back and forth to Market Basket in that plaza. So I think it would be good to get back a report and see how can we kind of key in on some priority locations that really around elderly and schools and all of that. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilor Robinson. 4.5, Councilor McDonough. Request city manager reach out to the university to explore the feasibility of a land swap within the LINK project. Seconded by Councilor Liang. Councilor McDonough.
Thank you. This is another influx of phone calls, complaints, and social media posts. Also, a lot of complaints from my wife, who also loves that park. I think in like 1998 is when the Tsongas Center opened. As far as I can tell, there are still municipally owned development plots surrounding the Tsongas, Lot A on Hall Street, and then that weird triangle. There's a couple other zones that are still owned by the city, and residents are concerned about losing a green space in a neighborhood with a real dearth of green space. And so I think just, making sure that residents know that the city administration, and I've heard that we might be or might not be, but I want to make sure that the city administration gets the credit for these conversations with the university and trying to demonstrate that we are willing to come to some sort of a compromise here where they can have their hotel and their ice rink and we can have our green space. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor McDonough. 4.6, Councilor Robinson. Request the city manager have the proper department provide a detailed report on percentages as well as dollar amount increases for all ordinance employees over the past 4 years. Seconded by Councilor Noon. Councilor Robinson.
Thank you. This motion comes about as we're all aware, financially, it's going to be getting very lean, very fast, and with budget season approaching, I think, I know initially when Manager Golden came in, one of the challenges we had was job retention and being competitive in a lot of key areas for employees. So I think it's good to get this information well ahead of budget discussions so we can start looking at where were we, where did we go, and where do we need to go in the near future, distant future. Are we competitive, especially in a lot of the ordinance positions? I know the contractual employees, it's a little easier because we did make significant increases to base wages as a result to be competitive. We saw with surrounding communities, but with ordinance positions, it's a little different because, you know, there's different requirements as far as skills and specialties with those kind of positions. So I think this information will be very relevant come budget season. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Robinson. Councilor Rourke.
Yeah, this is a good motion, I think, to get information out there. It was okay with the maker. If you put the retention rate in the past 4 years as well, because back then it was Councilor Getchia, when we first started 4 years ago, we're very concerned about people coming to Lowell, being trained in Lowell, and then going off to different cities and towns, with the background of a busy city and stuff like that. So I think this is really good, to get out there and just to get, what we're doing, because, we know we have an incredible staff here, but I think if we get those information out there, it'll be good for everybody to know. So thank you.
Manager Golden.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, through the council. Absolutely, where were we? Gladly, where were we with over 85, 88 openings to where we are today? And I don't see a lot of movement, and I think the CFO would back that up for the future. It's a sweet point. I think we're at that sweet point where people are coming to us. Just the other day, we put out a dispatch job. It was 100 people that applied. More than? Yeah. I mean, it's, and it's Lowell is becoming the place that you want to work. And we're not seeing the exodus at all, other than retirements, and even some of the retirees we're trying to hold on to because of that internal knowledge of what's happening. So I thank once again the council and the previous council and the previous council for that, because really, I don't know how to say this, nobody wanted to work here. Financially, it wasn't there. So the retention piece, I think, is a great idea, and I'd love to bring this forward. Thank you very much for that. This is great.
Thank you.
Costly, but it was great. It's kind of, so.
Thank you. 5, communication from the city manager. 5.1, motion response. Motion A, update on 809 Stevens Street. Councilor Dakota.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through you to the Assistant City Manager, Machado. First, I want to thank you for the motion response. It's also good to see that we recouped some of the back taxes there, $35,000. But it was more of a safety issue to me, and I was quite pleased as I was driving by the building today that there was a big red X on there that was placed by the city. So I guess either through you or maybe our city solicitor, what's the next step in all this? Like, how long does the building going to sit there for? And I don't know if you can help with me, city solicitor.
Assistant City Manager Machado.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So the building commissioner sent out a demolition letter, yesterday, giving the property owner 30 days to either make the necessary repairs or the city will hire a contractor to demolish the building. The property owner came in today and paid off whatever was left or owed on his tax bill. And the building commissioner is meeting with the property owner tomorrow to discuss the property moving forward.
Right. Would we be able to get an update once you have a decision by him?
Absolutely.
All right, thank you very much. Appreciate the motion response again.
Motion to accept and place on file by Councilor Rourke, seconded by Councilor Scott. 5.3, communications. City manager requests approval of out-of-state travel. 1 DPD. Motion to accept by Councilor Noon, seconded by Councilor Mercia. Roll call.
Mayor Getchia.
Yes.
Councilor Giron.
Yes.
Councilor Liang.
Yes.
Councilor McDonough.
Yes.
Councilor Mercia.
Yes.
Councilor Noon.
Yes.
Councilor Robinson. Yes. Councilor Rourke.
Yes.
Councilor Scott.
Yes.
Councilor Chow.
Yes.
Councilor Dakota.
Yes.
11.
6, votes from the city manager. 6.1, vote, amend the JAM plan. Waive first reading and second reading by title. Authorize the city manager on behalf of the city of Lowell to request approval pursuant to Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 121B, Section 48, and 760 CMR 12, that require the city of Lowell undergo a process to adjust the building form standards of the Hamilton Canal District Form-Based Code. Motion to adopt by Councilor Noon, seconded by Councilor Robinson. Roll call.
Mayor Getchia.
Yes.
Councilor John.
Yes.
Councilor Liang.
Yes.
Councilor McDonough.
Yes.
Councilor Mercia.
Yes.
Councilor Noon.
Yes.
Councilor Robinson.
Yes.
Councilor Rourke.
Yes.
Councilor Scott.
Yes.
Councilor Chow. Yes. Councilor Dakota.
Yes.
11 yeas.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. 6.2, vote, apply, accept, expend 3,000 Mass Economic and Workforce Developers Fellowship Program Grant. Waive full reading and second reading by title. Authorize the city manager on behalf of the City of Lowell, acting through the Department of Planning and Development, to apply for, to accept and expand funding from the Massachusetts Economic and Workforce Developers Fellowship Program for up to $3,000. Motion to adopt by Councilor Duran, seconded by Councilor Dakota. Roll call, Mr. Clerk.
Mayor Getchia.
Yes.
Councilor Duran.
Yes.
Councilor Liang.
Yes.
Councilor McDonough.
Yes.
Councilor Mercia.
Yes.
Councilor Noon.
Yes.
Councilor Robinson.
Yes.
Councilor Rourke.
Yes.
Councilor Scott.
Yes.
Councilor Chow.
Yes.
Councilor Dakota.
Yes.
11 yeas.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. 7, Constable Bond. 7.1, Communications. City Manager requests approval of Constable Bonds Stephen Brulette and Stephen DeRosa. Motion to adopt by Councilor Dakota, seconded by Councilor Duran. Roll call.
Mayor Getchia.
Yes.
Councilor Duran.
Yes.
Councilor Liang.
Yes.
Councilor McDonough.
Yes.
Councilor Mercia.
Yes.
Councilor Noon.
Yes.
Councilor Robinson.
Yes.
Councilor Rourke.
Yes.
Councilor Scott.
Yes.
Councilor Chow. Yes. Councilor Dakota.
Yes.
11 yeas.
8, reports. Seeing none, we'll move on to 9. 9, petitions. 9.1, claims. 6, property damage. Motion to refer to Law Department for report and recommendation by Councilor Scott, seconded by Councilor Rourke. 9.2, miscellaneous. Caroline Bennett requests installation of a handicap parking sign at 7 Arthur Street. Motion to refer to Transportation Engineer for report and recommendation by Councilor Liang, seconded by Councilor Duran. .4 miscellaneous. Steve Asterian requests permission to address the council regarding installation of a handrail on the side entrance to City Hall. Motion to refer to the city manager for report and recommendation by Councilor Robinson, seconded by Councilor McDonough. 10, City Council Executive Session. 10.1, Executive Session. To consider and discuss the purchase, exchange, lease, or real value property. The Senior Center, 276 Broadway Street. Public discussion of which may have a detrimental effect on the negotiation position of the city. Motion to enter into executive session and adjourn from executive session by Councilor McDonough, seconded by Councilor Chow. Roll call, Mr. Clerk.
Mayor Getchia.
Yes.
Councilor Duran.
Yes.
Councilor Liang.
Yes.
Councilor McDonough.
Yes.
Councilor Mercia.
Yes.
Councilor Noon.
Yes.
Councilor Robinson.
Yes.
Councilor Rourke.
Yes.
Councilor Scott.
Yes.
Councilor Chow. Yes. Councilor Dakota.
Yes.
Announcements. Councilor Mercia.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm just reminding the public, if anybody's watching, the Bridge Club of Greater Lowell is having a hockey competition between the Boston Warriors hockey team. They are disabled veterans. They have a hockey program. That'll be Sunday, January 18th at 2 p.m. There will be tickets at the door, $20 for adults, $16 for the child. Very interesting. It'll be the Boston Bruins alumni versus the disabled veterans hockey program. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilor Mercia. Are there any other announcements? Okay, thank you for watching. We'll see you guys next week.